Ndị be anyị ekelekwanụ m unu. Asị m ka nke onye chiri ya si alụkwa. Asị n'ụbọchị nketa anyị mara na anyị na mma na ihe adị ka echi na echi ada agwụ agwụ. Otu anyị kwuru ya, otu akụ ya dịrị n'ụmụ Igbo. Ise ise. Ọzọ dị ka ibe ya bụ anyị emekunu mara na ya bụ Eastern News 24 ka anyị si wee wetara ya bụ ozi unu je gị n'ugbu a n'iru akwụkwọ gbasa maka ya bụ ife na-eme n'obodo anyị nọ n'ime ya anụ nwere ụwa na-azụ n'ala Igbo. Ozi anyị wetara unu n'ụbọchị nketa bụ according to the Biafran activist. Breaking news. Biafran Prime Minister Mazi Simon Ekpa rejects a threat. Propaganda lies exposed on his appeal. Hear the news in details. Alright, this update Makia will be a quick one. Machokun Gaya before we tell you. Pastamaka before Finland on the Biafran Prime Minister's appeal update. Diki Gafi Kabaro Kiriatia Nifoku. Over to you, sir.
Now, listen very carefully. There are a lot of misconceptions that has been going on as regards Simon Ekpa's case. There are a lot of misinformation. In fact, I call it sponsored misinformation to deceive people and to make the lawyers or Simon Ekpa himself to lose guard and to feel defeated in the first place. Key among those misinformation is that when you go for appeal, you know that if you fail on the appeal, that the appeal court might even increase your sentence or make you suffer more because it's a terrorism case. Therefore, you might even end up getting more than the amount of years they gave you. This, among many others, are misinformations that has been going on social media since Simon Ekpa was sentenced by the district court. And if you observe very carefully, you will see that they come at the comment sections. That day when that judgment was given, they were going around comment sections telling people, hey, if you come, go and protest it now, they will even give you more. They were going everywhere, even on X, even on YouTube. Check it, you will observe if you're watching me that these people were going to comment. Check those handles very well. You will see that most of them don't even have any business on social media before. They don't even have a proper handle. They don't have any active, personality on social media. All they were sent to do was to weaken the morale of Ekpa and his lawyers, to make them to accept defeat already when there is opportunity of getting victory. Do you understand what I'm saying? Now, for this video, now calm down and listen very carefully. Hold on, because we are going somewhere. For this video, I'm going to be clearing the air, clarifying the misconceptions that have since arisen since that judgment. There are up to 5 of them. There are up to 5 or 6 misconceptions I want to clear the air so that you will know the truth and not be misled by enemies from people who were sent to spread misinformation and lead propaganda. So walk with me in this video and you will get the facts of everything you need to know on this few misinformations that has been spread about his court case, and many of them now people are already started to believe them, and I'm here to tell you, and I'm here to debunk them and set the record straight. So whatever you're doing, it's time to leave it and focus on this video, or go and finish it up and come back to this video, because I'm going to be clarifying up to 6 misconceptions that has been spread and propaganda that has been spread about Simon Ekpa's case that are not true. And in fact, I also want to set the record straight for many things that you also need to know among all these 6 points itself. If you're watching me for the first time, kindly subscribe and click on the bell immediately and select all to get notified whenever we release a video. Also like and share this video. Let's go. These are the misconceptions that I want to clear one by one, going by the Finland jurisprudence and as regards Mazi Simon Ekpa's case. 1, which is a myth. They said that if you appeal, the courts will punish you harder for wasting their time. But in reality, that is not true. In fact, under Finnish law, which is the Code of Judicial Procedure, EKPA, very long, Chapter 4, Section 9, it protects against harsher punishment if only the defendant appeals. The law protects against harsher punishment when the defendant appeals. This is the no worsening principle, reformatio in pious. No worsening, which you understand means we are not here to worsen your case, but to find a way to make it better. We are only working with what you brought to us. And once we see reasons, we act. If we don't see reasons, we maintain status quo as it was before. It just becomes as you were. In Finland law, the appeal court is not there to punish somebody who appeals, to punish, a defendant. It is not there to say, okay, you came, why did you come here? We'll deal with you. If it does not work, don't come, if you're not sure. That is not what the Finnish court is for. The Finnish court is just to do your bidding. That is even the main court in Finland, because district court is lower. I say lower than even, high court in Nigeria. Lower than magistrate court in Nigeria. I'm telling you the fact. So the appeal court is the real court. It's the main court that you have to go, because that is where you have the real judges. Not even the district court. They don't use judges there. They use lay judges. I call them fake judges. That's how I call it. Because to me, if you're not a judge, it's not a judge. Simple. So definitely an appeal either works or doesn't work. Simple. It doesn't reverse anything. It maintains status quo or it does your bidding. So let's go. Number 2, which people have also been spreading also, and I have seen it in one or two places, comment section, people just spread misinformation, is that once the district court decides that the case is final and nothing can change about it, that Oyibo land is not African land where people go on appeal. Now, the answer is here. In reality, that is wrong. Every defendant in Finland has a right to appeal to the Court of Appeal, which is called hovicus, and in some cases also to the Supreme Court, which is kokin ocus. And I'll get to that point later in the video. If leave to appeal is granted, that is, if leave to appeal is granted. Finland justice system is built with multiple layers to correct mistakes, to correct judicial mistakes. Finland justice system is built to correct mistakes. Not that one court will assume law and order unto itself. It's not done in Finland like that. Definitely. So they are even telling you, if you don't see justice in this court, you go to the appeal court. And like I always say, the appeal court is the main court. That's why the district court decision is not final. In fact, district court decision is not even the decision at all. District court decision is just seen as a kind of a conflict resolution court. It's not a court. To me, it's not a court. It's not a court that should sentence you and you go and accept your sentence. Simple. So once the Supreme Court decides, the case is not final at all. That's number 2. So let's go on. Number 3, which is also part of the misconceptions. They said, if you lose your appeal, you will serve extra time as penalty. That one also is chief among the misconceptions they have been saying on social media. People have been spreading it in the comment sections. And I'm here to break that myth and tell you the reality. In reality, it is false. It is false. It's not true. Losing an appeal does not add years to your sentence. The only extra you might face are the extra costs of court costs. Typewriter, paper, stencil, court time. That's a normal thing. Court costs. If the case drags on, but not additional prison time. That's it. It's a normal thing, because definitely everybody pays for court costs. Just a normal thing. Just a small 1,000 naira, 2,000 naira something. That is if it does not go your way. Just a normal court cost. But not that it will add extra court time, extra sentencing to you. No, if you fail. So if you fail, there is no penalty for failing an appeal in Finland. There is no penalty for failing an appeal in Finland. So it's time to understand it and rule that out. Whenever you see it on social media, close your ear, block the person, even just ignore the person. If that person, if it's someone that that you feel that this person is like a friend but has been deceived, you can correct the person. Correct the person by saying, this is not true. In Finland, you are not, targeted for failing an appeal. No. If you win the appeal, the Finnish court, the appeal court can reduce your sentence. Yes. They will reduce your sentence. They can strike out some charges. They can even strike out the case. Because like I said, It is obvious that the appeal court will look into more of the, evidences and will justify if they were right or not. It's good to go to the appeal court in Finland, knowing very well that the Finland district court, which is the lower court, are not competent at all. They are not competent. Also, number 4 misconception. They say that appeals are just paperwork, and the higher court won't actually look at the evidence again. In reality, in Finland, the Court of Appeal often rehears witnesses and reviews evidence directly, especially in serious cases like terrorism and co. It is not a rubber stamp. It can lead to acquittals, discharge, or sentence reductions. Simple. So like I told you before, at the Finland court will look at the evidence again. They will listen to statements again. They have to call those witnesses again to repeat those things they said in the lower court. You will come. All of them will come. So those things that the lower courts were using as evidence, bring it now to appeal court. And Simon Ekpa is a notable person in Finland society. He deserves to test appeal. You can't just gag him like that. Please, those advising him, do not make that mistake of accepting judgment like that. Don't be afraid. Carry him to the appeal. Let them bring out that witness, because there has been some rumors that he was not properly defended in the lower court. He was not properly, adequately defended. He wasn't allowed to, defend himself the way he would have loved to. That is the plan. That was the plan from the one. They planned to use those fake judges, those lay judges, because they're the ones who you can bribe and manipulate, and you tell them to do this and do this in your court. Don't allow him to do. So they're the ones you can manipulate. That was why he was made not to be able to bring his own fresh lawyers, as many as he wanted, to his court. Who does that anywhere in the world? Everybody deserves the right to defend himself. That shows that there was already a manipulation from the one. They did not want him to defend himself properly, because those were fake judges. They can't try it in the appeal court now. That's why. So the appeal court will say, okay, this man, you can argue it there in appeal court that I was not given a proper defense. I wasn't allowed to defend myself. I did not bring my lawyers. These are the things you will say in the appeal court. And the appeal court says, okay, where is the document you use to find this man guilty? That's when everything will be unraveled. So calm down. The game is just starting. But if you don't do these things, you have ended the game. You have given up so soon. Don't give up. Let's go on. Number 5. Some people have been spreading misconception for this number 5 so much. Some people have been spreading misinformation that these 6 years that Simon Ekpa has been sentenced to, that he is going to face the whole 6 years. Nothing like 3 years or 4 years or 2 years. He's going to face, the whole 6 years. And I'm going to clear the air once and for all for this last time. I won't keep on saying this. Listen very carefully so that you can hold your ground anytime you hear such rumors. If sentenced 6 years. So the reality and the truth is that in Finland, most prisoners are eligible for conditional release after serving 2/3 of the sentence. For a 6-year sentence, that actually means 4 years in prison before release. For first-time offenders, conditional release can even come 1.5 of the sentence. So that's like 3 years on a 6-year term. 3 years on a 6-year if he's a first-time offender. And Simon Ekpa, of course, seems to be a first-time offender. So he is going, likely, if he stays this way, he may end up spending 3 years only. The only exceptions are the most severe cases, which is like murder case or life sentence, or those people who have committed, serial killers and or whatnot. So those ones are the only ones who perhaps have serious more issues. But this 6-year sentence on Simon Ekpa bordering on tax evasion, which I call it tax evasion because I don't see terrorism in that sentence, he will spend only 3 years according to the law of Finland. And that is how it is. So this misconception, I've cleared it clearly. I don't see anything, in it. And those people spreading those rumors, please be very guided in misinforming other people. And for those of you who are afraid, who keep on believing these things, I think this has cleared the air on all these things, that you should understand that there are certain jurisprudence in every country, and it doesn't just go away. It is backed by law. There is one more misconception, or rather clarification, that I want to give. This one is very, very important, and I want you to listen to it very well because it's very important. And that is about appealing again to the Supreme Court in case the appeal court does not work. That is number 6. Will I also be able to appeal even Supreme Court level in Finland? Now listen to this. The Supreme Court, Kokin Okius, only takes cases that raise important legal questions, precedents, issues, or matters of national significance. You must apply for leave to appeal, and most applications are rejected. So while the district court and court of appeal guarantee you a chance to be heard, the Supreme Court is selective. It is not an automatic third trial, but rather a guardian of legal constituency. See how it works. After the Court of Appeal issues its judgment, you can apply to the Supreme Court. But the Supreme Court does not automatically take the case. You need leave to appeal, which is called valitus lupa. This is only granted if 1. The case involves a serious legal question that needs clarification for future cases. 2. If there is a need to ensure uniform application of the law across Finland. Or 3. There has been a serious procedural or legal error in the lower courts. This now is subjective. It is not by force that the Supreme Court will hear your case. The only hope you have, the last hope you have, is the appeal court. Going to the Supreme Court in Finland, according to their law, is not for every case. You are free to apply, but they are the ones now that will decide if that case is worth hearing in the court or not. Bearing that, and most times it's case about interpretation of their constitution that is they entertain, or a strong legal case that is somehow confusing, that they need a strong legal interpretation from the Supreme Court. This will have to have a very strong lawyer who, has a way of manipulating these words to sound very, very constitutional, and will make the Supreme Court to pick interest in it and see how they can interpret it. Going with the fact that this case is has an international dimension as well as a local dimension in Finland. So it might be possible if the lawyer is a very strong one. But naturally, without taking risks, the case officially ends in the appeal court in Finland. That is the end of the case. Supreme Court is God's hand at the inside. It's not, and your sentencing starts immediately the appeal court gives judgment also, except the Supreme Court accepts your leave of appeal. And that is exactly when it starts counting, not when the district court, gives its judgment. So if Simon Ekpa appeals now, the sentence will be on hold until appeal court delivers judgment. That is when the sentence will actually begin. Even if he wants to apply to Supreme Court again, that then if the Supreme Court accepts the appeal that he wants to listen to it, then the sentencing, stops again and starts only after the Supreme Court gives judgment. So generally, Supreme Court judgment in Finland is not a must. It's not your rights. That is the only problem we may have if, you're seeking to appeal to Supreme Court. But apart from that, that is why I say this appeal must come. Must come. It's a must. There is no two ways about it. So I hope it's very clear, and all these points we have raised this night will serve, as a proper information for those in charge to know where we stand in all this and going forward for all this misinformation and misconception that will clarify the issues and let everybody understand where we are at the moment. So nobody can deceive you, because let me tell you, there is nothing you will gain from listening to this media up and down. All this media you are seeing, mainstream media, they're all full of lies. Most of the ones in Nigeria, they're all full of lies and deceits. They only use paper, money. They collect money and lie to the public. Mostly when it comes to things that concern the Igbo, they will always spread lies. That was how they lied and deceived the world into, engaging into a civil war in Nigeria in 1967, and also lied that the first coup of Nigeria was started by Igbo extraction, which of course was done by the same media. But now, we will never let that stand again. That is why we are here to always say it. Truthfully speaking, here in Potter's family, we are a family of truth, we are a family of purpose, and we are a family of faith. And with faith, we can move on mountains. Stay tuned to my channel 247.
Ebumane gente. Edaluli ne nukunisiwe na nunum obosi nketa. na Eastern News 24 bụ ebe anyị si were wetara ya bụ nnukwu ozi gbasara maka ya bụ ife na-emenụ ka efi were ikwu gbasara maka ya bụ ife ndị anyị wetara n'ụbọchị nkịta n'iru akwụkwọ.